It's Morphin time.
None of us really know each other.
We're all screw-ups.
But somehow, we were all in the same place at the same time when Billy found those coins.
Amidst having taken care of my body for the last couple of weeks pretty thoughtfully and well, I'm feeling pretty sick today. I still wanted to, give my thoughts on Power Rangers. I liked the movie. A 46 or 47% on Rotten Tomatoes tells me that, it's kind of split down the middle with critics who liked it and didn't like it. 82% of the audience ended up liking it, and I'm one of those 82%. I did enjoy the movie. It could have been better, and I want to start with some of the things that I didn't like about it so that I can kind of end it on a positive note. First off, I thought that the pacing was a little bit off for this movie. Given that it was over 2 hours, you pretty much got like 20 minutes of some kind of action stuff like at the end of the film, so I just didn't think it was really proportioned that well. I guess there just wasn't enough of like the Power Rangers in the suits, which is sort of like the bang for your buck. It's sort of like where the money's at, where you make all the money for the toys and stuff. I'd say my main issue with the movie was Rita. She just seemed like she was in a different movie than everybody else. The other actors, they gave very grounded performances. Elizabeth Banks, I really do like her as an actor. She just was kind of hamming it up, and I didn't think it fit with the tone that they were going for. A lot of her dialogue was just painful to watch and to listen to. She seemed like she was enjoying it, but it just made the tone kind of inconsistent. It took me out of the experience a little bit. I was interested in Zordon's portrayal. I liked where they were coming from with Zordon, but he was kind of cranky. He was kind of an asshole, to be honest. I just thought it was kind of like weird to see Zordon portrayed with not such a sense of like the kind old man vibe that you got from him in the show. And I feel like there could have been more of him, and I feel like there could have been more Rita. They were pretty, but I guess they had a lot to like focus on with this origin story, so maybe, if a sequel happens. Do feel like they could have maybe had a MacGuffin in the movie that's a little bit more compelling. I don't really want to give spoilers, but I feel like people aren't going to go nuts if I spoil this, so if you haven't seen the movie, here's a light spoiler. So the MacGuffin of the movie is the Zeo crystal, and for people who are familiar with the television series, the Zeo crystal is, I believe, where their powers emanate in the first place. And while it does make sense, and it ties it into the sort of the canon of the franchise, just felt like they could have had a stronger MacGuffin, and it was a little cliche, and there is something else that in the movie that's connected to Rita that I thought would have made it a little bit more of an interesting MacGuffin, and given her a little bit more to do. That's sort of it for the things that I didn't like. Let's move into the like section. So I really liked the Rangers themselves. I really liked the actors that played them. I thought they were all really pretty well cast and gave good performances, and for a bunch of them it's like their first movie or first big movie. Relatable, they were funny, the writing kind of their personalities and interior struggles was pretty strong. I think my favorite of the crew was Jason. He was definitely the protagonist of the film if you were to kind of single one of them out, and I thought the young man who played him was really, really good. Kind of reminded me of Chris Pine a little bit. And I just thought that they actually added some dimensions to that character, because I always felt like in the show he was sort of, the leader, but he did nothing to really portray any leadership. And here you saw a little bit more of the burden that it is for him, and also for his sort of redemption within the story, which, I won't spoil, but it was pretty well written, I think. And it really connected with Zordon in a nice way, and I like that. I think my second favorite was Billy. I think R.J. Kyler, I believe is his name, he was really good, and his character could have gone into like an annoying realm, and it wasn't annoying. It was actually really endearing. I liked what they sort of wrote in for his character. Kimberly was cool. Trini was really kind of a badass, and I really liked how they did Zach's character in this one. They all had chemistry. It worked for me. And I think it was my favorite aspect, along with the strongest aspect of the movie. And I think that was really what the theme of the movie was, which is, maybe however cheesy you think it is, but it's friendship and teamwork and family, and that's something that I always liked about the franchise. I liked how Rita and Zordon's origins were more tied together in this. I thought that the prologue of the movie was pretty cool, actually, and it did remind me of the short film that I spoke about in Power Ranger Talk. If you haven't checked that out, check out that. It's available via playlist. It seemed like this movie was kind of like the median between the original series and that short film. I mean, honestly, that opening to this movie was like, it looked almost the same kind of like shot and camera work that they used in the short film. So I really do disagree with the critics on the the fact that this movie wasn't fun. I completely disagree. I was laughing, and the audience was having a great time, and I think a lot of these critics just need to get the sticks out their butts. This was a fun movie for me. I enjoyed it. I was a big fan of the Power Rangers as a kid. I mean, it definitely brought up a lot of nostalgic feelings for me, and it did resemble that, and also take on some new kind of more modern characteristics that I've been waiting for as a fan. When there was action, it was great. It's hard for me to like compare this movie to like another movie. I mean, I feel like it's a better film than like Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman. It has a lot more character development, and it makes more sense. But it's definitely not as strong as Captain America films or the Avengers movies. Somewhere like kind of in the middle of those, it was pretty decent. I would hope that they are going to make a sequel to this movie. It was fun, and I think that it's a decent revamp that brought a little bit more cool things than I think like the G.I. Joe or the Ninja Turtles or the Transformers franchise are bringing to their films. So I hope it does well enough at the box office for a sequel. I'm going to give this movie a B-. Not the strongest grade, not the strongest movie, but I thought it was a good start for this, new cinematic franchise that I'm hoping has a future. Let me know what you guys thought of Power Rangers and some of the cool surprises that are within the movie. If you haven't seen the movie yet, stay after the credits. There's a good little tag there. It was enjoyable. I had a good time, in the theater watching this film. So please, guys, as always, like, share, subscribe to Vigilante Mode, and I will see you guys next time. Until then,
Vigilante Mode deactivated.